things in the propagator got a bit neglected, and these are the telegraph cucumbers. As you can see, they're way beyond the potting on stage, so I better correct that now. In the past I've grown the telegraphed, so it'll be interesting to see what's improved about these improved version. Got a decent root ball on, as you can see, so I'll just gently split these as good as I can. We've all been left with a decent root ball. I might plant these slightly a bit deeper than normal, not too much so, because I don't want to rot the stem, and I'll be going into these, I should say these are close on 10cm pots. So there we have 7 telegraph improved cucumbers, all potted on. I've put them inside this polystyrene box for the time being, because the propagator's not tall enough now I've potted them. And we're still having a few cold nights, dropping down to single figures. So during the evening I'll be putting a piece of glass over the top, and it'll also help maintain the humidity. During the sowing of the cucumbers, you may recall I sown these mini muncher. Well, out of the 6 seeds there's only 1 germinated. So I'll be potting that on now, and then I'll be going back to the trusty one, and that is the mini munch. I did say in my previous video the seeds for the mini munch were sparse, with only being 6. But here's the mini munch, and it's even better, there's only 4 in there. So hopefully all of these will germinate. I have pre-watered the soil before the seeds have gone in, so I've just popped them in on the side. Now I'll just add a little bit of vermiculite and put them in the propagator. The wonders of gardening, and how it'll never cease to amaze us. You may recall the tomatoes which I failed to germinate on the kitchen roll. After putting them in compost, this is what happens. Then we've got furline on the end, crimson crush in the middle, and some is the mountain magic on the end. And for good measure there's a pot of tumbling tom, the trailing tomatoes for the basket. It's time to start sowing the celery, and as usual this variety I'm growing is my favourite, called Latham Self-Blanching. This is just normal seed and cutting compost, and I'll dampen the soil down first because the seed is extremely fine. I'll just give that time to soak in. There's a seed in there, you can see, really fine seed. It's about half a packet in here, so I'm going to broadcast it as liberally as I can. One final thing before it goes into the propagator is a very, very light dustiness of vermiculite, so this really can germinate in the light. I will give that another light spray in there, just to keep the moisture retained, and that then goes into a heated propagator. These are the furline tomatoes, part of the blight resistant trial, and I think it's about time we potted these on. Because the tomatoes have actually gone past their ideal potting on stage and they're a bit leggy now, we can still plant them quite leg deep, more or less just below the first leaf, so that won't harm them. They'll actually throw little roots out of this stem here. So just pop a bit of soil into the bottom, hold them by the top, and then we can just gently fill the soil surrounding it, equal like that. It's a little press down, tap it up, and just give that a drink now. I've potted on the 3 varieties of blight resistant tomatoes, and if when you pot tomatoes on, or any plant really, if they start to wilt and go a bit limp like this, don't panic. The only thing to do is to pop a little lid over the top and a bit of humidity, and they'll soon pick up. I'm a little bit late starting my carrots this year, so rather than the carrot boxes lie dormant waiting for me, I thought I'd utilise them and do at least one as a little salad box. I've got some spring onions here, the Ishikura, and also some the winter density lettuce. They can go out, and I'll probably interplant with a couple of rows of radish as well. That's a couple of rows of lettuce in the winter density. Down the middle I think I'm going to put a few spring onions. In the end I put 3 rows of radish, one each side the spring onions, and the variety is called Sparkler. It's a little globe radish. I'm about to sow the first sowings of carrots this year. These are the sweet candle, the ones I usually grow. This is inside the greenhouse on the allotment, and what I've done, I've made 5 drills where I'll broadcast the seed fairly sparsely, and anything where there's really any overcrowding I'll thin out, but in general I'll leave these to their own devices. When I sow on the carrot tanks in the allotment, I'll actually bore the hole out and put some real sifted soil in, and these will be for the bigger carrots. I've given those a water in now, and I'll just put a sheet of glass, but I'll keep it raised to get some airflow as well. April is a month where things really start taking shape on the allotment and the growing season cranks up a gear. Here are a few jobs you may wish to consider for the upcoming weeks. Begin harvesting leaves from cut and come again salads, especially those that have been grown in a greenhouse or under glass. These grow very quickly in the warm weather. Harvest the leaves from the outside and you should get 4 or 5 crops off these before you need to resow another set. The plants may be bursting into life, but so are the weeds. A few minutes sowing each time you visit the plot should keep them well under control, and also keep a lookout for any green fly that might be lurking. Start constructing supports now for any peas, beans or sweet peas so that they're ready for when you start planting out. Seed sowing continues during the month of April, and peas can be sown direct into the soil using a main crop variety, and these will be picked in the summer. However, do keep an eye out in case the mice find them, because they will eat them. If this becomes a problem, you may wish to consider sowing in rain guttering like a lot of other people do here on YouTube. The first young asparagus spears should be starting to emerge now. Harvest these by cutting about 1 inch below the soil level. If they're fairly new plants in the first and second year, be sparingly what you crop, as this will weaken the plant and start to crop fully in the 3rd year. Also, you may wish to have a bit of fleece nearby just in case overnight frosts are forecast. Second early and main crop potatoes can be planted during the month of April, and also keep a fleece handy for these. Also remember to earth up first earlies that you may have sown earlier, as any frost on the haulms will make them go black. If the blossom's anything to go by on this pear tree, we're going to be in for a bumper crop this year. It may look glorious sunshine now, but boy did we have a frost last night. It went down to minus 3.5 in the greenhouse. So tonight, as a precaution, I'm going to put a bit of fleece over the plants that are in the cold frame. I've just checked a couple of the weather forecasts and both of them say we're going to hit 0 degrees tonight, so it's a little warmer than we got last night. I've put a bit of protection over onto the tomatoes and that underneath. That's a bit of net curtain doubled up, that'll help them. There was a bit droopy this morning, although it did only get to 1.5 overnight in here last night, but that should do the trick. That's all for now. Remember to keep hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later. Bye for now.